All right, be a little different this year, but we always have fun. Over-unders as far as 2020 is concerned. The high, of course, is Yankees and Dodgers at 37.5. A lot of low numbers here, too. No number on the Blue Jays. We don't know where they're going to play yet. So I guess that's the reason why the folks out there in Las Vegas have not put a number on them. No fans. I'm surprised there's no number. But regardless, Bruce and I will have some fun here. We'll pick 3 overs and 3 unders. We're going to give Bruce the first crack at it and try not to take the same teams. We'll have a little competition, and we'll have some fun. Bruce, take it away first. Give me an over, give me an under, one at a time. Go ahead.
All right, my first over is going to be, no mystery here, the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are a 40-win team easily. They're the best team on paper in the sport. From A to Z. I don't think that playing the Western Division in either league is going to be too confounding for them. So I'm going to go Dodgers over at 37.5.
And I'm going to take Oakland over at 32.5. They're due to play better here out of the gate. Last couple years, they've been around a 500 team in their first 60 games. They've had that drumming them enough about how they give up too much of a lead and don't have enough left to catch them at the end. I think this year, knowing that it's imperative that they can't struggle early, I think the A's, and I know they got Puck out for a couple weeks, but I think the A's will play a lot better here this year. Houston won't be as good. I don't like the Angel pitching, and obviously Seattle's got a long way to go. So I think the 32.5 number for Oakland is a good over. I'll go there. I could see them winning 36, 37 games easy. I'll take over A's to start my little contest with you. I'll go over Oakland at 32.5.
All right, Chris, my first under, I'm going to take the aforementioned Astros at 34.5. I think that they are public enemy number one as far as the sport's concerned. We all understand the reasons behind that. They're not quite what they've been on paper in recent years, and right now their bullpen is an absolute mess. It's going to be pretty good if and when they get their players back, but right now it's Swiss cheese. They have holes all over the place, and we understand that the bullpen is going to take an even bigger role in the early portion of the season than the latter going to, because before the starting pitchers get fully stretched out. So I think the Astros are a bona fide playoff team, don't get me wrong, but I think I'm going to take the under at 34.5.
I'm going to take the under of Washington. I'll go along the same lines. I think the Nationals did not replace Rendon. Obviously, they got the big pitchers. I understand that. But I think the Nationals are going to have some trouble getting going here. I don't think it's going to be the same trying to defend a championship. They've won already. A lot of the pressure is off them. So if they get off to a slow start, they're not going to push Strasburg and Scherzer too much. I wouldn't think they'd do that. I think that they will, you can make an argument that there'd be a benefit of not having to have the pressure every day to defend, but you can also make an argument it would be the other way, because if they get off to a bad start, they're going to say, heck with it, we'll worry about 2021, we've already won. So I'm going to take Washington's offense. To me, has got major issues. Scherzer, Corbin, and Strasburg give him a chance every night, but I think Washington could struggle in 33.5 in a very competitive division. I'll go under Washington, my first U here in 2020.
You hit the nail on the head with the Washington offense, Chris. Right now, the way that lineup is currently comprised, why in the world, if you're the opposition, would you throw to Juan Soto? Unfortunately, we have a similar over. I took the A's over at 32.5 as well, and I'm going to take it a step further. I think they're going to win that division. Now, as you touched on, the fact that for the better part of the last decade they've gotten off to these hideous starts, that concerns you. Clearly the mindset has to change in this truncated season. But
I'm not going to allow you to, Bruce, you can't take Oakland. The idea is I took the team first. It's a competition who does better between you and me. You can't piggyback on my team. So you use your strategic noodle and figure out who I might like and take them. You don't get Oakland, so give me another one.
I don't have another one. I could take. I'll give you.
You have to. You got to have 3 overs, 3 overs.
I do have another over, but I have to come up with a fourth now.
Take it.
All right, I have the Diamondbacks. Now I know
you got a minute or two. Take the other over.
All right,
Go ahead.
I'll find another over, but right now I'm going to take the Diamondbacks. I think their pitching is deeper than it's been in recent years. It's not just because of Bumgarner. I like a couple of young guys like Gallen and Weaver they have. Their offense, they had Starling Marte. They had Cole Calhoun. They got an underrated, an unsung MVP guy, and Ketel Marte is part of the mix there. Escobar, Peralta. The bullpen is a little bit of a question, but I'm going to go Diamondbacks. I'm going to take them as my second over, and I guess I'll have to figure out another one along the way.
Yeah, got to find another one. Good job, Bruce. I mean, I got them flustered, which is what I like. I'll go in the same division for an over. I'm going to take the Padres. I think the Padres, have a little better deal with their pitching. Bruce Termion and Garrett Richards. And, of course, Paddock. They have a pretty good bullpen. Webb, they brought Pomeranson, who was great in the playoff game last year and late from Milwaukee. You got to figure they're going to score more runs. They got Tatis healthy. 30.5 isn't huge. Somebody's going to have to finish over 500 besides the Dodgers in that division. Bruce takes Arizona. I'll take the Pods. 30.5 over is my second over here in this contest. You may continue.
All right, I'll go with my third over. And listen, yesterday I picked them to win the division, so why not take a flyer on the over? I'm a little bit concerned about the water they're taking on in that rotation right now. But I'll go with the Mets. I think it's the second best lineup in the league. It's one of the top 5 in the sport. They have the best pitcher in the game to lead that rotation, so whoever falls behind, there's not a lot of pressure on those guys. And listen, they don't need all of the dynamic arms they have in the back of their bullpen to revert back to their previous dominant form. But if a couple of guys, from Familia, Diaz, Betances, if they, prove to be what they once were, that's going to be enough for this team. I picked them to win the NL East. I'll pick them at an over. I'll take the Mets as my third and final over.
All right, I'm going to do 2 unders here, then I'll give you my last over. My 1 under, I'm going to go against trend. I'm going to take under Reds. I think there'll be a lot of pressure on the Reds, and yes, I know they get off to a good start with Detroit and Kansas City early in the year, so I understand that. They're 32.5 in a very competitive division. Not a great division, but outside of the Pirates, those 3 other teams are pretty good. Not terrible. I mean, there are 33, 32 win Cardinals, Brewers, and the Cubs. So no easy games for Cincinnati whatsoever. I understand they got pretty good pitching. I understand they fortified their offense with Castellanos and Moustakas. I get all that. But I don't like trendy teams, and they are a very trendy team. Everybody loves them, and so I'll go against the grain here, and that's what smart bettors always do. I'll take under Cincinnati, 32.5.
Hey, look, I know they benefit from the underlings, 2 in the AL Central, 1 in their own division, but I'm going to go under on the Cubs. As you mentioned, a very competitive division. I like the top 3 in the rotation, but I don't like the back end of the rotation. I definitely don't like the bullpen. And the lineup is very good, at least the first half of it. But I could see the Cubs being very much a 500 type team. I'm going to take them at the under at 32.5.
Not bad.
And my last under is going to be the Red.
Not bad.
Yeah, and my last under is going to be the Red Sox.
I go now. No, I go now, Bruce. One at a time. I go. Jeez, I have a clue here, Mike. You heard me and Mike do this for years. I'm going to take the White Sox under 31.5. Again, against trend. I don't love the White Sox pitching. This Kopech injury is a big one. Everybody loves them, and when a team is beloved, go the other way. And I understand they get the Royals and the Tigers plenty of games, and against the NL Central is not that difficult. I get that. So I could lose this one, but I'm going to just pick against trend. So I'll go under White Sox, 31.5.
And I'm going under. I'm going under Red Sox at the same number, 31.5. Dynamic lineup, especially the top 4, but that pitching is an absolute mess, all from beginning to end. So I think it's a 500 type year for the Red Sox. I'm going under 31.5. You happy with that now?
I
okay?
like the Phillies over, Bruce. I'll stick with the Phillies going over 31.5. Same kind of principle with you. I'll take another team in that division with the 3 guys at the top of the rotation. Girardi, I'll go Phillies.